Okay, all I can tell you for now, I think the most important thing is that when we came to Traverse City back in 1960, the welcome mat was really out, and there isn't anywhere we could have gone in this world where I think we would have gotten the same sort of reception that we got here in Traverse City. In getting a job here, I met the three most important people in Traverse City, 1, 2, 3, which was Bill Milliken and Les Biederman and Austin Batdorf. All three of them offered me a job. I finally took the newspaper job because I thought it was something that I could do well. So I thought it would be fun being in the newspaper business. So I took that job, even though it was the lowest paying one on the scale of 3. But all three of those guys I grew up loving. I mean, they were just wonderful to us. Unbelievably, within 2 years, we had a full circle of friends, the Amels, the Hardys, the Taylors, and then our bridge club, which formed with 6 couples, and those people were our friends for life. And then we were involved with the church to start with, and that was very successful. I got involved with the Chamber of Commerce, being elected to the board after I'd been here 2 years, which was a real surprise. So that kind of led down the path that I was going to be involved in a lot of community stuff as time went on.
Well, I started realizing that my dad was quite the man around town when I came back after college and decided to start my career here. He helped me make connections, and I'm pretty sure I got my first job with GBKB Architects as their marketing coordinator because of the connection with my dad. And that was a really fun job for 2 years. Every now and then I could get an article for the architects printed in the newspaper. I don't know, connections, use your connections. But during that time, I began to really appreciate my dad's involvement in community activities. He was demonstrating to me, as I was a very young professional, that being involved in your community brings you value and the community value. So.
One of the beautiful things about Dad being selected, being honored to receive this award today is that for so many people, they have their moment in the sun, and when that moment in the sun is in the past, the current generation might forget. Well, when we were talking about who might nominate him, it was interesting how those individuals span generations. It reminded me how a community like Traverse City is built on the work of each generation adding to that which was done before. And I know Dad's very proud of what Traverse City has become and humbled by the fact that his role in it helped make Traverse City what we all enjoy today.
Traverse City was a different place when Ann and Gil Bogley arrived in the early 1960s. Inadequate water treatment and industrial blight threatened both East and West Grand Traverse Bay. As a young family man, after dinner, Gil would don his hat and coat and set off into the night for some meeting or other. In addition to the Record Eagle, his young children heard about things called the County Commission and the Chamber of Commerce. We absorbed the lesson of service to society. Gil Bogley has played a leading role in regional conservation efforts. Today, the area's natural beauty draws visitors from all over the world. They rave about their visits here. I suspect that Gil's most effective forum was the morning coffee group at Stacy's restaurant downtown. Gilbert was popular amongst local outdoorsmen, partly for his excellent hunting dog, and some likened his emergent fly casting technique to a tennis stroke. Plato believed that the goal of society is to produce fulfilled people. As a citizen worthy of the Distinguished Service Award, Gil Bogley embodies this ideal by successfully promoting both quality of life and economic prosperity for all.
Gil's leadership and commitment to this region is what led the Chamber of Commerce to put the protection of our natural resources into their mission and strategy to build a healthy economy and a healthier community. And this was over 50 years ago. Pretty revolutionary at the time and amazingly far-sighted.
Gil is one of my very favorite people in the whole world. He's kind, he's fair, he's bright, a good family man, he's loving, he's everything I can think of as a good human being. And I've always been drawn to curmudgeons.
As a board member, I worked for him for probably 15 years. And I watched him, and I learned a lot from Gil. I mean, he's a great leader. He's got a great way of dealing with people, and I tried to emulate that as much as I could.
He's had a great impact on a wide range of things in the community that's been noted in the paper in different places. I think one unknown thing is that Gil was the wizard behind the scenes that started the neighborhood organizations. He couldn't be publicly involved because of his position at the paper, but he was one that foresaw the need to get the neighborhood together because of pressures of development in the neighborhood. And so he got a couple ophthalmologists to be co-chairman, and we got the thing together, and that was the beginning of Slabtown, and he named it Slabtown. I mean, he suggested the name Slabtown.
One of our best publishers was your Gil Bogley. So I tried to get him to come work in our top management team in upstate New York, but he refused. He wanted to stay at the Record Eagle. I finally convinced him to be publisher of another Ottawa newspaper for a little while if I promised that he could come back to Traverse City and be publisher until his retirement, which he did. He loved the landscape, fresh air, clean water, which he worked so hard to protect. And he loved this community with many active leaders, among whom he was certainly one of the most respected and rightly honored by your award today.
It's one thing to be a person that lives here in the community. It's another thing to be a whole family. And the Bogleys were a family that everybody looked up to. And that if you ever mentioned his name, you had everybody's ear. And if they didn't know him, they felt very, very quickly that they missed on something.
I'm Tammy Haggerty, and I've known the Bogleys since we were little kids skiing at Hickory. Dynamic describes Gil Bogley. His grassroots efforts with the Chamber and with the Conservancy have left an indelible mark on our community. Thank you for that, and for hosting the best premier bridge club parties. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor.
Gil has a voice in the community that it was like no others, not just because of the newspaper, but because of his relationships and his ability to get things done.
The Bogleys and my parents, Ken and Luann Taylor, were friends as us kids were coming along, so we were raised with the proper respect for Mr. Bogley's tennis game. My dad would go on and on about the poetry and the strategy and the efficiency. And then my brother Bruce aced Mr. Bogley twice. He still squeals to this day. I hit consecutive aces against a U.S. former boys champion. But full disclosure, the Bogleys won that match, 6-1, 6-0.
My dad dedicated his life to projects that will benefit all of us for years to come. He chose to participate in this community not to impress others, but to be involved and to help influence the region for the better.
I would like to say thank you, Dad, for helping show not only your kids, but the rest of us the way to help make our community better.
I've lived a charmed life because of what the community has given me an opportunity to do. That's the only way I can put it. I'm just lucky that they asked me to do things, and I loved working for the hospital. I loved working for the Grand Traverse Conservancy and my church, and the community has given me that opportunity. I don't know I could have gone anywhere else and had that opportunity like Traverse City has given me, and my wife too. So appreciative of winning this award, and thanks to my son John, who made it happen. can't think of anywhere else or any other life of any variety I would rather have led than what I have had in the 63 years I've been here. It's been wonderful, absolutely wonderful.